Hello, I'm Mike Buchanan, leader of the British political party Justice for Men and Boys and the Women Who Love Them. I launched the party in 2013 and it remains the only political party in the English-speaking world campaigning for the human rights of men and boys on many fronts. We plan to field 20 candidates in the 2020 general election, standing in Conservative marginal seats because the Conservatives are currently the party in power, assaulting the human rights of men and boys at least as badly as previous Labour administrations ever did. Only parties in power can stop the assaults on men and boys' human rights, so we'll always be challenging them. I'm speaking to you from the conference room in the London venue where we'll be holding this second international conference for men's issues from the 8th to the 10th of July. The venue is XL London, the capital's largest conference and exhibitions venue, and it has great facilities. We're delighted with ticket sales, but there are still some tickets left, so we thought we'd put together a short video to encourage the undecided among you to order tickets. We have 20 well-known speakers booked. Speakers and delegates are coming from at least 16 countries to date. Australia, Canada, Finland, France, Germany, India, Ireland, Italy, Mexico, the Netherlands, Norway, Romania, Spain, Sweden, United Kingdom, and of course, United States. Now, of course, this conference is not going to be just about the presentations. It's going to be a rare opportunity for people interested in men's and boys' human rights and associated issues to meet, hold discussions, socialise, renew friendships, and start new ones. Many good friendships started at the Detroit conference in 2014, and I'm sure the same will be true of the London conference. It hardly needs saying, I'm sure, but London is one of the greatest cities in the world. Arguably the greatest, but then I'm possibly biased. So why not combine your visit to the conference with spending more time in the city, maybe further afield to UK and Ireland, or even further beyond? July is a great time of the year to visit UK and other places in Europe. So who'll be the speakers at the conference? Of course, we have Paul Elam, one of the giants of the men's human rights movement, but we also have speakers of more normal heights. You'll be glad to know. I'll run through them all very quickly. There are more details on the dedicated conference website, icmi16.wordpress.com. We start with Erin Pitsey, who's been campaigning on domestic violence for well over 40 years. She'll be giving the keynote speech, Intergenerational Family Violence versus the Big Lie. Terence Popp, a highly decorated American combat veteran, will be the master of ceremonies and bring in some military discipline, hopefully, to the event. He's the proprietor of an excellent website, redonkulous.com. Now for the other speakers in surname alphabetical order. Paula Prida is the national manager of the Welsh charity Families Need Fathers, Both Parents Matter. The charity provides practical and emotional support to parents with child contact issues in Wales and undertakes research on issues impacting on men. Paul will be talking about the state's war on fathers. We come to the first of the Canadian honey badgers, Janet Bloomfield. Janet is an anti-feminist writer and blogger. She was one of the first female anti-feminist bloggers under the pseudonym Judgy Bitch. She was one of the original contributors to Women Against Feminism, and she's explained why feminism is the major ideology standing in the way of legal equality between men and women. Her conference talk will be titled, How Feminism Infantilizes Women. In our 2015 general election manifesto, we explored 20 areas where the human rights of men and boys are assaulted by the actions and inactions of the state, usually to advantage women and girls. So I'll be speaking on the political war on men and boys. The poor provision of healthcare for men and boys across the world is a long-running scandal. Dr. Greg Canning, a very highly regarded Australian MRA, will be talking on the health gender gap. Martin Daubney is an award-winning magazine editor, writer and broadcaster on men's issues. In 2013, he presented Channel 4's Porn on the Brain, which has since been aired in 7 countries. From 2002 to 10, he edited the iconic men's magazine Loaded, until fatherhood dragged him into the real world. Martin will be speaking on pornography and the demonization of young men. Paul Elam was the founder of A Voice for Men in 2009 and remains its publisher. The site is the most visited and most important website in the world advocating for the human rights of men and boys, and the site's logo has the strapline, Changing the Cultural Narrative. Paul will be speaking on the topic, Gynocentrism, the Roots of Feminism. We come to our second Canadian honey badger, Professor Janice Fiamengo of the Department of English at Ottawa University. She's a strident supporter of free speech and an advocate for gender fairness. For some time, Steve Brulé has been producing an impressive series of anti-feminist videos featuring Janice, titled The Fiamengo File. Her presentation will be How Feminism is Destroying Higher Education. Sage Gerard, or Victor Zen as he's sometimes known, is the Collegiate Activism Director, AVFM Operations, LLC. Sage is an internationally recognized advocate for men's rights, student organizations, and an authoritative contact for students trying to resist hostile universities. He'll be speaking on the topic, How to Bring Men's Rights to Campus. We turn to Guttorm Grunt, a Norwegian who's been engaged in gender equality for men for 30 years, both as telephone support for distressed men. He's the co-founder of Resource Centre for Men, Reform, and he's now board member of the organisation Men's Forum. His talk is titled Discrimination of Men and Fathers in Norway, and Men's Forum's Strategy and Actions for Gender Equality in Practice. Kathy Gingell has been a research fellow with the Centre for Policy Studies since 2007. She has written frequently for a number of leading organisations, and 2 years ago she co-launched a website that almost everyone I know finds quite remarkable. It's The Conservative Woman, and it's justifiably achieved a considerable circulation. Her talk will be titled Feminism and Family Dysfunction, a Disaster for Men, Women and Children. Tim Hammond is an American independent researcher and men's human rights advocate. He has conducted 2 surveys into the long-term adverse effects of infant circumcision, male genital mutilation, or MGM. MGM is our political party's #1 campaigning issue, and it's also of considerable concern to A Voice for Men, which maintains a register of known genital mutilators, including a number in the UK. Tim's talk will be titled Exploring the Aftermath of Male Circumcision, Findings from the 2012 Global Survey of Infant Circumcision. The men's human rights movement is particularly active in India, so we're delighted to have Anil Kumar of the Save the Indian Family Foundation. Anil was the founder of India's first ever men's community centres in New Delhi and Bangalore. He has testified twice in front of parliamentary inquiries, seeking to protect innocent men and women from the impact of false allegations against men. He'll be talking on organisational models that made the difference, success stories in India. Josh O'Brien is a 19-year-old British politics and sociology student who's been making videos on men's issues and feminism for a number of years. He's been featured on A Voice for Men, Inside Man, Fabulous Magazine, J4MB and the BBC, among others, and he's seeking to become an expert on men's issues in years to come. He's already quite an expert, quite frankly. He'll be addressing the question, where are all the young MRAs? Herbert Purdy is a British author, commentator and blogger on feminism and its effects on society. He stands implacably opposed to all it represents and believes it's time far more people woke up to its dangers. He's an important figure in our political party, and I thank him warmly for all that he's done for us and continues to do. He's written a quite remarkable book, Feminism, the Angry Creed, which is also his talk title. I've had the privilege of reading his book, and I can tell you it deserves commercial success. It will be published not long before the conference and will be on sale there. We come to our 3rd Canadian honey badger, the legendary Karen Strawn, Girl Writes What. She's an anti-feminist who's been writing and video blogging on gender issues since 2010. Her widely admired videos have raised the consciousness about gender issues and feminism of huge numbers of people. At the Detroit conference 2 years ago, I asked quite a number of people what had introduced them to the truth about feminism. Most people cited Karen's videos. She'll be talking on the subject of toxic femininity. Next we have Lucian Valsan, European News Director, AVFM Operations LLC. He's a Romanian libertarian conservative, polyglot and staunch non-feminist. He runs the YouTube channel Freedom Alternative, and he'll be speaking on the status of men in continental Europe, ideology, legislation and activism. Thomas Walter is an executive member of Mandate EV in Germany. Mandate is an independent, unaligned NGO founded by concerned men. They campaign for the civil rights of men and boys and expose and help overcome discrimination against them. Mandate is the leading political organisation in the German men's human rights landscape. Thomas will be speaking on men's rights in Germany, issues, activities and challenges. Last of the speakers, but not least, is Milo Yiannopoulos, a British journalist and entrepreneur. He founded The Kernel, an online tabloid magazine about technology, which he sold to Daily.media in 2014. He was involved in the Gamergate controversy, criticising the politicisation of video game culture. He's an associate editor for Breitbart.com, a United States-based news and opinion website. His talk will be about something of which he has considerable knowledge: how to beat feminists in debates. Finally, we're expecting a number of well-known individuals to attend the conference, but not give speeches. They include Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad; Belinda Brown, a notable contributor to the Conservative Woman website; Shadowfax; Peter Lloyd, journalist, author of Stand By Your Manhood, a game changer for modern men; Swain Opai, long-term campaigner, author of Why Britain Hates Men, Exposing Feminism; David Sherratt, Spinosaurus kin; and finally Hannah Wallen, another important honey badger. I invite you to join us all in London. It's going to be an important and memorable event in the long struggle for justice for men and boys and the women who love them. Thank you.